Hello and welcome. This is the first video on the 12-week Python beginner course. This video will just be a bit of an introduction to Python, and by the time you finish this course you'll be a Python whiz ready to apply for your first job. So let's start by talking about what Python actually is. Python is a high-level programming language, very similar to other languages, modern languages such as Java, JavaScript. Essentially a high-level programming language uses human-readable statements. This makes it a lot easier to program on. Also, high-level programming languages are very portable. That means that they can be run on any hardware. To really understand the benefits of these high-level programming languages, it might be worth having a look at some lower-level programming languages such as machine language or assembly language. And amongst the other high-level programming languages, Python is known for its readability and simplicity. Now let's look at the importance of Python. Python has many uses, including web development. It's been used in scripting and more recently in AI and machine learning. So there's a wide variety of use cases. Python is OS agnostic. By that I mean there's certain programming languages which are associated to certain OSs. For example, for Swift you would use a Mac OS, for C# you'd probably use Windows. Python is a dynamic language. All programming languages can fall into one of two categories, either dynamic or static. So the main difference here is, for example, in Java, which is a static language, you would define a variable as either the string or an int, and that can't be changed. Whereas Python, you wouldn't define what type of variable it is. And going forward, in a statically typed language, you can't change that variable's typing. Another notable fact about Python you might see once you start programming in it, it uses spaces and indentations. For example, in a function you might use an indentation and everything sort of below the if statement falls into it. Whereas in other languages you might use curly brackets. For example, in PHP, instead of an indentation you might have a curly bracket and to say everything within the curly brackets fall within this if statement. So now that we've got a bit of an introduction to Python, some of its use cases, let's install Python and get on with our environment setup. Okay, so let's create our first Python script using solely just the terminal. First we'll check if we've got our code editor Vim installed. You can check that by doing vim -- version. We've not got it installed, so what we'll do is we'll use a package manager apt in Linux to install it. We're running sudo apt install vim. We have to sudo it because we need the admin credentials to download. Download is successful. What we'll do now is we'll just double check that it's been installed. We're running the same command, it's installed. And now we'll check if our Python's installed using Python 3 -- version, the same again. If it's not been installed, you can sudo apt install Python 3 this time. Okay, fantastic. Now that we've got all the boring stuff out the way, the Python installation, environment setup, and all the jargon about why Python's important, let's get down to the fun stuff and create our first Python script. And now we can use the touch command to create a file. We'll create a file called helloworld.py. We need the py extension because it's a Python file. So now is we'll edit that hello world file using the code editor we just downloaded, Vim. So we'll do that by doing vim helloworld.py. And to use Vim, to get into insert mode, the first thing you do is press I, and you can see at the bottom of the screen it says insert. So now we'll start typing out our code. We'll just put simple bit of code in first. We'll run a print command and we'll print hello world. So now you can press colon. What the colon does is it puts Vim into a command line mode. Once in the command line mode, you can enter a command. In this case, we're going to do W and Q. W and Q essentially just writes and creates. Once we push enter, the text should be written to that file and we've created out the file. Now we're just going to check the contents of this file. We're going to check that by using the cat command. Now the file looks how we want it to look. We've catted it and it contains the code that we need, print hello world. Finally, we'll execute that bit of script by using Python 3. Now we'll run the script that we've just written. We'll do that simply by typing Python 3 and then the name of the script. So Python 3 helloworld.py, and now we've got the output print hello world. So now we've successfully written our first Python script.